Jess, what's worse? 4 years in an apartment or 1 month in an RV? Go.
Honestly, I think living in an apartment, because you're kind of stuck there. Here, I mean, in our RV, we've already been to, Louisiana, Texas. We're in Arizona right now. I wouldn't trade that for anything, honestly.
Jess and I just made a video on our first 2 weeks in an RV, which you can watch up above. But we want to discuss, has any of the newness wore off since we've been in an RV for close to a month now? Truthfully, it's been about 7 to 8 weeks, so that's enough time to kind of let things die down a little bit. And I feel like we are always catching you guys on move week. So we have to move today. We are going from Cottonwood, Arizona, all the way up to Cavite, Paiute. I hope I pronounced that right. I do apologize if you catch me pronouncing that incorrectly, but it's about a 6-hour drive today, and yeah, we'll be spending a whole month up there, which is crazy. That's gonna be our longest stay of yet, which I'm pretty excited for because it's in between the Grand Canyon and Zion National Park, so you got a few parks to play with, and we had a month to do so, so I'm pretty excited.
About somebody that had their dogs tied up in the yard across the road?
That was us.
Okay,
yeah.
No, you were fine. He was just being kind of picky, and I'm like, well, if he's attending to his dog and it's tied up, what are you complaining about?
I believe I might know the guy you're talking about. Good boy. Hey, good boy. Do you be scaring people? You 7-month-old puppy. You be scaring everybody, huh? And I decided to make a little pit stop at our favorite store, REI. One of the things I want to talk to you guys about is our first stay, which was in Alamo, Texas. And that was an interesting stay because it was our first time ever using a 1,000 Trails membership. It was our first time ever getting to live in our rig. And we didn't really get to do much just because we spent most of the time getting to know our rig. We got a de-winterizer for the first time and just getting really to know the insides and outs of the rig. And there's a video I'll link up here if you want to check that out about the entire review, the 1,000 Trails membership in Alamo, Texas. And the one thing I will say is that it is close to everything. You will have restaurant options, you're going to have shopping options. That's about the only thing I can say. There's not much really to do outside of that. I mean, you have to drive about an hour to the beach if you want to go have some fun. It is an older community, so just call before you go in. We luckily were able to stay there, but I think moving forward, it's going to be a 55 plus community because they're getting very strict on that. We were actually turned down at another location, which we're going to get to here in a minute, and that's a whole different story of we're kind of skeptical of 1,000 Trails at the moment. So we're going to walk in, grab us a few things, and head on out. Look at that. This Cotopaxi, which is pretty thick, is on sale. These things are pretty expensive. This is on sale for $150. That's not bad.
What's the smallest size of mints?
An extra small, maybe?
Men always get the best size.
No, we don't.
Yes,
The beautiful part about living on the road is you can just drop your gift bags up at home. And we spent a little too much, but it is what it is. Good clothes, good sales. Miss Jess is driving for me right now, and I'm just loving it because I'm getting to take all the photos. We're starting to enter the Grand Canyon. And what do you think? What do you think about the Grand Canyon so far? Like, I mean, we haven't seen it yet.
Haven't entered it yet.
But we're getting that landscape going.
It's empty. There's nothing out here.
Nothing.
But it's kind of pretty, honestly.
But I think we might be on a reservation right now. We might be entering the Navajo side. This kind of reminds me of our second stay, which was in Big Bend, where it's just very desert, very desolate. And the drive from Alamo to Big Bend for our second stay, that was week 2 through 4, and it was our favorite stay so far. We got to hike in Big Bend, the national park, and then we got to stay in Ghost Town, Terlingua area. How would you describe that? I mean, it's a cool little vibe. It's got its own little thing going on.
I mean, it had its own culture. It's very Wild West. It made me feel as if I was in a Wild West movie. You'd see people with their cowboy hats on, and it was really cool. It's number 1 on my list so far. I know we're just getting started, but
setting up is one of those things where you don't necessarily want to do it in the dark. But for the past several times, we have done it in the dark. But this spot, I can already tell it's gonna have some views. It's beautiful. I can't wait for the sunrise tomorrow to see what's going on. Unfortunately, when we got here, the restaurants are all closing down. We got here a little late. We enjoyed our drive. Did you see the drive on the way here? Oh my God, that was beautiful. Like that was, we should do that again. Like absolutely. Would you do that again? Would you do that drive again?
Yeah, I mean, I drove it.
Well, she did. Yeah, she drove. I mean, you saw that. She was driving. She did excellent, by the way. Thank you, Jess. And we had like a little mini preview. That US 89, highly recommend. Again, with US 90 down to, just there's a lot of drives. Like I should honestly just make a guide and put it out for you guys, like a free guide or something, just for all the drives that you should do. US 89 is just another one of those like, oh my God. And then we get to drive through Khabib National Forest on our way down here, and we saw the full moon rise. It was just a whole treat for us. But anyways, our week 4 through 6. This is where things got a little confusing on our end and made us kind of question our 1,000 Trails membership. Reason for that is because we had a reservation in Benson, Arizona. Thank you. We had a reservation in Benson, Arizona. Already made it. Like we already had our names in there for the 2 weeks we were going to be there. We were going to use this stay to kind of catch up on laundry and things like that since we don't have a washer right now. And we get all the way over there and we get turned down. Guess why? We are too young. So 1,000 Trails, they sold us on the Trails Collection, which is in Adder, has a few more locations. It's their encore spot. And we were sold on the idea that it wasn't going to have an age requirement. Lo and behold, it does, and it will. So there's only one spot in Arizona that we could go to in 1,000 Trails in Network, and that was the Verde Valley location where we just came from. When we got there, we got turned down, and then we ended up having to book a hip camp. Thank you, by the way, hip camp. You guys saved the day, which is about an hour away. We got to stay in Sonoyta, Arizona, and it was beautiful. Only issue was everything was an hour away from that place, like Sierra Vista, Tucson, groceries, laundromats, everything was an hour away. So, but the hosts, very hospitable. They actually let us use one of their houses for their laundry, which was nice, and let us borrow an extension cord to help us plug in and have shore power for an RV. So with 1,000 Trails, just make sure you get the fine print and you read through it. But other than that, everything's been good so far. We're gonna go ahead and eat tonight, take a shower, and get ready for tomorrow. We gotta catch up on laundry and gotta catch up on our groceries. And if you currently live life on the road full time, let us know down below how your first month was, or your favorite story you like to tell friends. And if you found this video helpful or entertaining in any way, feel free to give a thumbs up and subscribe to keep up with all of our travels. We'll see you in the next adventure.